ZZZ 2.0. Every 2.0 patch from what I've seen has had some sort of controversy following it. As an example, for HSR, it was Sparkle being racist, Firefly dying, silly shit like that. But in ZZZ, we have some story-related issues. People did not like the story, they thought it was mid or garbage, and what do you know? The primary suspects of people saying this are people like Seitontas, who only like Kuro Games titles. But we're not here to talk about him, unless he does something abysmally stupid to where I have to talk about it. Today we're giving my review on the ZZZ 2.0 story. Now, just a fair warning for any gacha players here who rate other people's opinions. I will be expressing my own opinion, and if you think that my opinion does not matter, or if you think that your opinion is the end-all be-all opinion, please click off this video right now and never interact with it again. You don't f***ing belong here. That being said, let's begin. Now, as mentioned previously, this is going to be my opinion. More topics will be brought up later, but I'm going to give my thoughts on the topic at hand. First of all, I did enjoy it. Although it was ZZZ's longest story, I did have my good moments with it. Yichuan's backstory actually touched me quite a bit. Now, aside from that, the plot picked up nicely, and the story was a good kickstart for the 2.0 saga. I give it about a 8.5 out of 10 because there was one issue with the story. Tutorials. Now, don't get me wrong, showing the players how to use new mechanics is not an issue. This issue stems from the fact that there were way too many tutorials. If I were to make a rough guess, I'd say about an hour of my time was one big fucking tutorial where we were introduced to the open world hollow in the Soiban Temple, which again is fine, but with how much you need to do to progress the story, it was way too much for a main story mission. An event should not be that involved with the main story. That aside, the new mechanics were alright. The fights were pretty simple since I was using Yishen, so Miasma wasn't exactly an issue for me personally. But the final boss was just okay. It was a big attack after a big attack after a big attack, charge, big attack, charge, big attack, charge, big attack. It's not exactly creative, but the boss itself was cool. Fighting it was boring, unless I was dying somehow. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think of the story. I am glad they show some love in the game, and I hope they continue to do so. Now, with that being said, a big video released during, the early parts of 2.0 releasing. A big video from a creator named Agekk goes over how this big ZZ fangirl was extremely pissed with the first half of the story. Now, I wanted to talk about this because of what was to come, and how it came to be with this video. So let's talk about that. Now, first of all, I want to say how impressed I am with this creator. Despite being friends with and despite being in a community with drama-hungry hyenas, she handled this situation very well. She goes to explain how she did not like how there is an egregious amount of tutorials, so much so, to the point where she had to step away and finish the story later. Now, although I did it all, barely leaving my chair, I completely understand. The temple shit was genuinely close to putting me to sleep. God, it was so boring, and I cannot agree with her more. But, despite hating the unbalanced amount of tutorials, she doesn't bash anyone having a different perspective, and just explains her thoughts without hurting or putting other people down. And somehow, she was apologizing for feeling the way she was, despite not needing to apologize at all. With how much of a nuclear trash hole that the Gacha space is, she really made my day with her approach on this. But the bottom line of her opinion is this from what I watched. She likes the story. She likes the game. But if she's unsatisfied with something, she's going to be vocal about it and not hide it. I seriously respect that. But it's not over that easily. She made a follow-up video. Now, from what I saw, people were really downplaying the situation with the tutorials. I think that these players are the reason why certain games give up and keep making terrible decisions, because the community is self-harming their own game and bringing the game's quality down because they'd allow shit like this to happen. But despite all this, Agekk was still understanding. Now, I apologize if I'm saying that name wrong. It's just how it looks to be pronounced. I'm sorry. That aside, we need to talk about another thing. Now, as we know, the gacha space is forcibly divided into two factions, Hoyoverse and Kurobats. If you slightly agree with one side, you're on that side. If you disagree with one side, that side disowns you. Like it even matters, of course. And now you're the enemy. People took Agekk criticizing the game as her being affiliated with Kuro. But here's the funny thing. Not only is she affiliated with Kuro, she's also affiliated with ZZZ and has made ads for them. They tried to do the forced faction assigning bullshit on her, and it did not work because they did not know her story. That was funny to hear. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I mentioning Agekk, a creator I never heard of until Zzz 2.0, a creator I've never tried to interact with nor talk about? Why am I talking about her? Well, it's to show you guys yet again how stupid people are when it comes to gacha tribalism. Now, just for a little warning, I'm not like Agekk, so I'm gonna say this straight up. If you were attacking her, or anybody else, because she was filing fair complaints about the game, you are a fucking idiot who does not want their own game to prosper. Listen, people have opinions. People have ideas. If you agree, you agree. If you disagree, you disagree. For either of those situations, you need to justify yourself as to why you think that way. Not because you're wrong, but because an opinion with no structure is just a baseless claim. Sorry about that, but anyways, back to what I was saying. An opinion with no structure is just a baseless claim. Agekk provided reasoning. I provided reasoning. Many people provided reasoning as to why they think the way they do. But when you bring a baseless claim with a baseless reason, and then you proceed to yell at someone who has an opinion containing substance with your baseless claim, not only do you look like an ass, the people who think like you, who also look like asses, will stop others from voicing their concerns. Which, guess what? Since people don't complain in Genshin, look at how awesome and fun that game is with all of its issues. Do you really want ZZZ to become a stale game with volatile player base? Because it's getting there if you're looking forward to that. Now, let me just reiterate this one more time. You are allowed to disagree with people. Maybe you see the long tutorials as an intermission. Maybe you see them as building bonds with new characters. Saying something like that shows that your disagreement has at least the bare minimum amount of substance. But when you say you disagree because someone's a Hoyoverse or a Kurobat, and you provide nothing else as your reason, you look stupid. You are stupid. You are the problem, and your fuel to the problem will not make the problem any better, nor will it make you look like you have a point. Wow, that was a lot. So yeah, this is what I think about the ZZZ 2.0 story situation. Now, I'm a bit late to this, but I don't have the luxury of paid editors or tons of free time like your other gacha streamers, so yeah, that's why this video is so late to release. But with all that being said, that's about it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Gacha Gaming content. We're trying to reach 500 subs, so subscribe to make that possible. Comment down below what you want to see next, and check out my community tab in Discord for updates on upcoming videos. Be sure to also check out my Twitter. I shitpost with other favorite creators and some dumbasses, so check that out as well. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.